Hey guys, this week, me and Wesley Treat are going to make this incredibly beautiful sign. Wesley designed this sign. It's designed to fit onto this building, but by the time we were done, it took us all the month of October to finish it. By the time we were done, it was too much winter going on, and Wesley had it. He had spent about 5 weeks here, so we decided we're going to leave it on the stand that I built, and we're going to probably install it on the building sometime in the spring. But come along, watch as I learn from Wesley's techniques. He's a master sign builder, sign designer, and he's also a master at making things look old. If you could see up close, you could see the rust and the age he put on it. A lot of people think this sign is vintage when they walk in here. They don't realize that it was just made the last few months. Follow along, learn the techniques that I learned up close and personal watching Wesley build this in my shop. I helped. I built the steel frame inside, and then I helped him with a lot of the assembly. But take a look, enjoy, and go watch Wesley's video on this. There's a lot of funny anecdotes in there. He's a very good comedic editor and just an all-around funny guy and an incredible maker, as you can see. So thank you, Wesley, and thank you for watching. And Happy New Year. It's a new year. 2023 is just around the corner. I'm excited for things to come. Hope you are too. As we head into the new year, for a limited time, I've created the Duresta Blade Bundle. So if you click the link in the description right now, you'll be able to purchase this bundle. You'll not only get my Duresta skeleton knife and razor blade, you will also receive a "If it looks straight, it is straight" hand-signed letterpress poster made by me. So please click the link in the description below while these are still available. And as always, thank you for the love and support. So I did what was easy for me. I built the steel frame to the specs that Wesley designed. And now we're cutting up aluminum sheets. This whole sign took probably maybe eight or nine of these aluminum sheets. They got cut up into various shapes and bent into various sizes. Wesley came with all of his paper patterns that we used to cut up and shape all the various pieces of aluminum. And as you see, his skills are going to become evident in bending and flanging all the metal so that it could all get pop riveted together. And this is a great technique if you want to jigsaw on top of a piece of 2-inch insulation, and you don't have to get too crazy manipulating the material around. It just lays there and gets cut to shape. And then Wesley used this bird beak thing to notch all of the aluminum and then bend up the flanges. Each one of those flanges is going to become part of the pop rivet sandwich, and everything's going to be held together on the steel frame.
make a short bend down there. So I'll need help holding that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So this channel's going to be sticking up this far? Yeah. That's going to look good. Wow.
Give us a 2-second lesson on what this is.
That's called a cleco. It's like a temporary rivet, a hole clamp. Stick it in there, hold it together until you're ready to do it permanently.
And how long will you be in the cleco stage? Will you do the entire layout before you start riveting?
Yeah. Once I do all this, then I'll take everything off and make any modifications to the frame.
Okay.
And then, put everything back on and do rivets.
Right. Very cool. And it's great for spots like this where this is kind of hanging in the wind.
Yep.
And you can keep that in place while you're drilling other holes before you make your final decision.
Yep.
Very good. Good looking stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. They're pretty good. Squeeze pretty tight.
Now that all the aluminum structure is fitted to the steel frame, we had to make a couple of adjustments. With all the welding, the frame had a little bit of a lift right under the crown top end, under the fleur-de-lis. So we put it on the flat weld table and cut it and put a couple of relief cuts in it, lay it flat, and then weld it again. I can't tell you what an asset having this 10-foot long weld table was for this job. Thank you, Strong Hand.
Crooked access panel.
So what you've drawn there is the edge of where the door will land?
Yeah, I'm trying to, so I can center it up. But
Right.
perfect.
So you just cut these access panels. These are going to be where you'll be able to get in and wire the neon from inside and also service it.
I was going to do 3, but there's only a couple of housings here. You can get to one from here, and you can get to the other from back there.
Mm-hmm.
So another access panel on the back here to get to all the sockets
Mm-hmm.
and some of the housings. And then a back access panel here for all the
Get the
bulbs
whole-
in the air.
Yep. As long as it's within an arm's distance, you're pretty good.
Yep.
And now with all the access panels cut and the sides and the back, we are actually riveting it together. All of the clecos that hold it in place, those little copper rivets that are removable, are following us all the way around. And I'm lining up the holes, and Wesley's following me up with the rivet gun. You could probably see more close-up details in his video of exactly what's happening. I was really impressed with the structure of the sign itself, how the whole entire back panel faces the whole entire front panel, and all those fingers fold up onto the frame and then get trapped and riveted by the external raised edge. It was really nice design. Simple, works really well. Wesley's aging process begins right now with the first couple of coats of primer. He then dirties up the primer and prepares for the rust stains that are going to be on there, all from the very beginning. I was really impressed with his process, and the results are incredible. They speak for themselves. The sign looks legit old, and the rust looks legit. Really good work.
This is my undercoat. It's a little black paint and water.
Is it an oil-based paint?
No, just latex, water-based latex. Spray it on, model it with some paper towels. And the paint I use is a little translucent. It's red. It's going to go on top of this, and this will kind of show through subtly, make it look kind of dirty. And then I'll do the same thing over the top when all the other paint layers are on. Makes it look dirty, old.
But how many years old are we going to try and make it look?
How old are you?
55.
Almost that old.
Now this is a metal oxidizing paint. There's metal flakes in the paint, and Wesley's painting it in the various spots where the rust is going to seemingly come through the paint. And that torn edge of the blue tape is going to create that peeled paint look. And it's interesting too, because the iron oxide paint that's not covered comes up from the edge, and the layers and everything he does, it'll be explained a little bit more in a minute, but it really looks legit. Now he's just using a water-based paint. It's a little translucent, so some of that dirt that you see on there is going to shine through. Obviously he's manipulating it the whole time. All the blue tape you see on there is going to be rust later on, and he keeps a little bit of scrap so he can experiment with the paint and see how well the aging process will work on some of the examples before he goes to the sign itself. Really has this whole concept figured out. And that's just latex house paint that he went and got, and when we put the sign up in its real place, if it starts to get aged, that's going to be fine too. Wesley is convinced, and I believe him, that the sign is completely weatherproof the way it's been designed and built, just like a regular, legit neon sign. We'll find out in time once we hang it up. I thought this was a really nice technique too. This is Aura mask, I believe, and he cut it on the vinyl cutter, and he's using transfer tape to lay down what will become the letters behind the neon. Now, each one of these letters in the old times would have been hand painted, individual letters with a lettering brush. But it's interesting how Wesley lays it down, and he uses it as a mask, and he hand brushes it, so it could also look legit like a hand-painted brush, but he's also following the patterns of the letters so that the brush strokes are in there, and also dry brushing it so that it looks like it's weather beaten, and that the wind and the rain and the elements have done its job of pulling away the thinner layers of the paint. Well executed. I know I'm going to keep saying that, but this sign is just so beautiful, and everybody's so impressed with it when they see it in person. But it's nice here, he can just overlay it, and then in a minute you'll see him peeling it up. And under each one of these letters in the various spots, the holes will be drilled completely through where the neon tubes start and stop. And now here you see it coming off. You can see here the masking is laid down, and he sprayed over it with the red paint, and that was to seal the edge of the mask so that you have a nice crisp white painted line. And again, you use the dry brush to thin out some of the strokes so that it looks like it's been weather blown. And I'm sure we waited a few minutes to peel it. But with the magic of editing, we just go right into peeling it off, and it looks so legit. And then I didn't get the yellow lines going down, and I also didn't get Wesley peeling off the masking that created the rust. But here you could see it. If you go to his video, you could see a little bit more of the details. And right here he explains a little bit more of layering in the rust. How do we make this look like steel? It's only aluminum though.
It is an iron paint from Modern Masters. So I apply that, mask it off, paint everything, pull the tape off so it looks like peeling paint, and I spray it with it's a combination of vinegar and peroxide and salt, and then it starts rusting.
So it's real actual iron granulations suspended in paint.
Yeah, so this is it's real rust. We use aluminum to keep it light, and then
Yeah, fake rust to make it look old.
Yeah.
And heavy. It really looks nice. I remember when you were doing it at first, I was like, why do you need to do it now? But I realized why. It's because the paint then looks like it's above it.
Because if you put it on top, then it looks like you just added it on top.
Right. And the fact that by peeling this tape, it looks like this paint actually peeled off. It looks great. It really sells the whole idea. I love it. Very expensive crane shot.
Yeah.
I'm filming.
Going back now.
All right, I'm inside the sign, making sure that the base of each light bulb socket is in the same orientation so that when Wesley wires it, it makes it easier that all the blacks are on one side of the base and all the white wires are on the other side of the base. He's adjusting from the outside while I'm orienting the bottom from the inside. In this little clip, you could see Wesley wiring up the terminals where the neon will drop into. And he also wires up the rolling lights into a box which distributes the pulses to make the lights roll. And here you can see him wiring up the lights into the transformer, and that's the roll box. And these are the neon posts which hold the neon up in the air.
I'm wiring together all the bulbs, which is murder on my arms.
Now you have a sequence. It's going to cascade. The light's gonna.
Yep, I got it all numbered out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm gonna wire these. They're all getting the same neutral, but then the hots are gonna be, wired in a pattern.
Okay.
So we'll get 4 channels out of it.
So the lights are gonna roll. They're gonna roll on the way down to the neon. And then the arrow is gonna roll. So when you place the neon in, it's just the physical connection of the electrodes being near the spring inside the cup.
Yeah, no, yeah, it touches the spring, compresses that spring. And keeps
This
the
creates the
connection.
electrode.
Yeah.
And the electrode is just a couple little bits of wire sticking through. Oh yeah, I see you have these, those were added recently, right? You put those on?
Yeah, they're called buttons.
Mm-hmm.
You can go without them and just kind of twist the wire up in there, but it
Yeah.
tends to like hook on the spring.
Oh, this gives
So-
it some
Yeah, it makes a better connection.
better contact.
Yeah.
You painted the black.
Yeah, just blacked out the.
Looks
ends.
good.
I'm gonna have to do another coat though.
When was the first neon ever made?
You're quizzing me.
You can make up an answer. Nobody's going to be able to.
1983.
What is the oldest neon sign that we're aware of? Do we know?
I don't know.
I just Googled it. Georges Cloyd developed neon in 1902, and then by 1923 he sold his very first neon sign to the Packard car dealership in LA for $24,000. You can Google it. But our neon here was made in Texas. Wesley had it made to his specifications. He had printed paper he'd given to the neon bender. Making neon is a very specific task done by people that do it all day long because all the tubes need to be charged. And right there you see us lighting the sign for the very first time on the ground. And then Wesley removes all the neon so that we could pick the sign up. You can't twist it while the neon's in it. You run the risk of breaking it. And so we get it all set up and we put it on this special stand that I make. And then we stand it up and then we put all the neon back into it. Ain't it? You don't want it to be tiny. A huge thank you to Wesley for coming up with this idea and talking me into it. I paid for most of the materials. Wesley donated his time and his skills. And all in, material-wise, this is about $6,000, maybe $5,000 worth of materials. All in, that includes the price of the neon, which is the predominant expense. Steel, metal, aluminum, electrical, and a little bit of everything else. It was an incredible experience to help Wesley design and build this sign. So Wesley, thank you very much, and go check out his video I'm sure you get a completely different point of view. Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.